See, there's a couple over here and a lot over here, and then there's one right over there.
There's some more mushrooms.
You like finding mushrooms, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We are here in Pumpkintown, South Carolina. Oolenoy Baptist Church, big old cemetery, one of the oldest. It was here before the removal of the Cherokee. This started in the late 1700s, this church. And here is the burial monument of Lil Mclean. She was born 1775 and she died 1828. So this is the prototype of the slot and tab tombs that we see over in Cleveland and Dahlonega. And this is where it starts, in South Carolina, and it moves westward as the next gold strike is made over in Dahlonega. We see here essentially it's a cairn, but the stones are arranged in a flat way, horizontal with the ground.
Yikes.
Yep, there's the thunder. And holes are made, spaces are made for the footstone, 2 inches, and the headstone. Nice traditional northeastern headstone placed in there. And then back here are stones to hold it up. So this, what effectively becomes the ledger stone, this whole top is going to become solid over in Dahlonega. And these holes that are placed in here, or that are just naturally occurring or covered up here, are going to be in one piece. They're going to be cut into the ledger stone. We're going to have flat sides or vertical sides. This stone is going to go all the way down. We're going to see that over here in this cemetery. And this one has a head and the shoulders, and then we're going to see another shoulders come out underneath here to support the ledger stone. It's an incredible place, Oolenoy Baptist Church. I want to say something about this shape. Around half discoid and then cut in to the shoulders, then down, and then the shoulders out. We're going to see that in a couple other places and a couple newer versions. Just like the Mclean burial over there, we have right here 4 and then 5, 6 burials in the same manner. Cairns, accumulations, stackings of rock, flat on top, and then the placement inside, wherever it can be, at the top. You can see on these ones it's 2 stones, 1, 1, 1 stone, 1 and a bunch of stones, and then a flat top, and then the footstone put in. This is a perfect model for what later became the slot and tab tomb over in Dahlonega. So these are the prototypes. I think this is the mother church of the slot and tab tombs. Back there we saw 7, 8 essentially slot and tab tombs, but done as cairns, and then the headstone and the footstone tucked in, and then the stones placed around them. Here and right over there are 2 monuments that changed the style. One is that it became one solid ledger stone. 2, there are notches in the end. They don't extend all the way out. This is notched right there, but the headstone is separated from it. So you have headstone and footstone placed in notches instead of slots, indented into the ledger stone. Another prototype, a development of the cairn slot and tab. This is now the notched slot and tab. Sacred to the memory of the Keith family. So here is a notch and tab tomb to an 8-month-old girl, and this table, this ledger stone, has been worked by a machine, cut by a saw all the way around to make it nice and fancy. These ends have been notched on the ledger stone. The engraving, much better lettering than over there or over there. So here, and this is, if you could see it, it's triangular shape and then the shoulders to hold it. That is the perfect beginning of a slot and tab tomb, because you're going to have a discoid with shoulders, and then you're going to have a second set of shoulders to hold the ledger stone. The prototype of the slot and tab tombs. Beautiful. This is a compass. I carry it around with me all the time to see what the orientation is of the cemetery. All cemeteries, almost all cemeteries in the United States are oriented to the east. And it says that east is off this way. And that these burials here are set at approximately 80 degrees. Some are even higher, 60 degrees. But be that as it may, that's why I carry a compass, is to always check the orientation, because there are some cemeteries that are known to have put, or with individuals who are north-south. But I digress. Here is a real slot and tab tomb. It's missing the footstone, but here is the headstone, here is the ledger, and here is the slot. You can take it straight down, a slot cut into it, and then the headstone on a much larger piece with shoulders, so head and shoulders, and the ledger placed down on top of it. This gives the whole piece a greater stability than the one over there that's just notched. It improves when they put another notch down here and put in a footstone. While we're here, we're looking at this beveled ledger stone. It's low on the sides, high in the middle, and making a cross just from the shape of it. Beautiful. All over this place we see box tombs, and in lots and lots of cemeteries we see box tombs. Here we have most of them locally made, but numbers of them, especially like down in Franklin, Tennessee, over there, we have pre-made marble boxes. So you can order them in pieces, 4 sides, 4 corners, and then a ledger stone. And this is to one of the patriarchs sacred to the memory of William Keith, born 1791, died 1856.
And this one here too, right?
This is his wife, Elizabeth Brown Keith, and she died, where is it? 1868. And come back over here and I'll show you what happens to a lot of these pre-made ones. They collapse. The ground settles. They didn't get it stabilized on the ground. Look at this. This is really interesting because, do you see that sheen on it? That looks like soapstone.
Looks like water.
Looks like soapstone.
Okay.
So I think that was the base.
Mm-hmm.
And that this thing slipped and is off of it over onto here. There's a base over there. But the importance of that, the color of that stone, is that that stone grows as we go west.
That soapstone.
That's soapstone,
Not
if
the-
it is soapstone.
Not the white marble.
No. The white marble is here in Georgia too, but not locally. It's that grayish, with a sheen on it, soapstone, that we'll be seeing more of as we go west, young man. Let's go west.
All right.
We're at the Carnes Creek Baptist Church Cemetery. It's the one behind the big one. It's hidden now. It used to be this was exposed, but now trees have grown up and you can't see this. Julie saw it.
Yay.
I was lost. Anyway, what's different about this stone is that this is the ledger stone that's been broken off, and for the first time, this stone, if you can get an angle over here, is foliated. It means it's banded, and it's easier to break off that way. And look, this is the first time where we use really thin pieces of stone to pile together and make a table tomb. Here's the most beautiful head and shoulders tomb in Georgia. Head, neck, shoulders. And in the back, the footstone is also a head, neck, and shoulders. This is confusing. It's like it's written over or been recarved, but the last parts I can tell is like Whitlock, 1850 something. This is to Ezekiel Holcomb, who died in about 1850 after serving 17 years in the service of the Lord, which makes sense that it would be this kind of ornate representation and a big, essentially box tomb, because box tombs were preferred for ministers up in the Northeast. We don't know where either Whitlock or Ezekiel Holcomb came from. I don't know at this time. I'll fill you in later. But this would be the marker for a well-known minister. But aren't these beautiful? There's no other place like this. And this is a different kind of stone. You can't tell it here, but this is not marble and it's not chert. This is, oh, and look at you see this line? Look at these lines here and down the edging here. That is a stonemason working, and it's foliated, which means that, excuse me, it's raining. Which means that there was a quarry around here and it was worked locally. This looks like soapstone, and it's going to become more and more soapstone stuff as we get closer to Cleveland and Dahlonega. That's where we're going to see the mother of all churches. The mother of all, slot and tab tombs.
We were so close to somewhere that the kids and I wanted to see that we took a little detour and visited Goats on the Roof in Tiger, Georgia. Even though it was raining and we didn't get to see the goats up close, aside from them being up on the roof, goats don't like the rain, so they stayed in their shelters most of the time. We still got ourselves some homemade nitro ice cream and picked up a new friend in the gift shop. We plan to go back someday when the sun is shining because this place is a hoot.
We're here at Faith Lutheran Church on the way into Cleveland, Georgia from Taccoa. We saw stuff over there in South Carolina at Oolenoy Baptist Church that set up the types, and then we stopped at Toccoa and saw another development. Here in Faith Lutheran Church, which used to be a Baptist church, we have two perfect slot and tab tombs with a head and shoulders, a large head, small shoulders, and then a second shoulders to hold up the ledger stone up there, and then here's the pointed footstone, and with a set of shoulders to hold the ledger stone. And then over here and on here we see how the sides were Morrison tendon were cut into fit so that the sides would fit perfectly into the headstone and footstone. I'm carrying this cigar box around because I have something special in it, and we're going to go over to the other one that you cannot see. Let's go. We came over here behind the other two. There's the church, and here's another slot and tab tomb. But wait, where is it? Based on this, I had made up, watch this. Look, the footstone.
Look, the bottom. We don't have a bottom here. It's probably underneath. But here we have the ledger stone. Here we have the headstone with the two shoulders. And we have two sides. Oops, built. And some ones, they were built in pieces. These ones are solid.
Somebody had taken apart this slot and tab tomb, probably because it was falling down, and had put the parts, laid the parts on the ground into this beautiful formation so that you could see how it is, how it was first cut out. And by the way, this is a new stone. It's no longer any of the stones that we see over in South Carolina or over in Taccoa. This is now, you can see just a glint over there. This is soapstone, 1864.